I'm Todd Marks, the CEO of Mindgrub Technologies, a company I started in my basement 7 years ago. That's now a technology innovation agency focused on producing mobile, social, web apps, and games, and now starting to venture into digital marketing. In the education system, they don't want you to leave. And it's really hard with any profession if you've got a day job and have a lot of kids and you're only working spouse to take that leap of faith. So I wanted to kind of start teaching part-time and start something in tech, because at the time, this was 98, 99 when I was a teacher, and the internet was just absolutely booming at the time. I had a kayaking partner that worked for an agency in town that really knew a lot about Adobe or Macromedia Flash at the time, which was a really hot product. And it was the first product that allowed you to have a seamless experience on the internet. You could be in the Flash environment and you could continue to interact without having to refresh the page. And I knew that would become a great platform for education. So I thought it was a great opportunity to move onto the web and really be able to do some online e-learning and be a pioneer in that space. So as a teacher, I wanted to move in this space. I had a buddy who also was working for a company and wanted to start a company. So I said, hey, let's start one together. We had a good run for a couple of years, and then after September 11th, we went our separate ways, and that's when I started Mindgrub as an independent consultant. We were fortunate because we entered in the marketplace making mobile apps. Mobile was a completely different skill set. Now you have some cross-compiling tools that you can use web technologies to make mobile apps, but at the time it was first, Objective-C development to make Apple iOS apps. And it was a completely different skill set and nobody had it, brand new. At the time I was still teaching at UMBC, this was 2007. I was working for the digital agency in New York, teaching at UMBC, and I grabbed a couple interns and said, let's figure out how to make mobile apps. And so one of our first big clients was Geico, who had a digital agency, and their digital agency is a lot more maybe traditional media based. So they didn't have the application development. So Geico tried to do it in-house. And they were having a hard time hiring iOS developers because they didn't exist, brand new technology. I was a teacher, really good at teaching how to do things, how to learn programming, got a couple bright interns, and we were able to figure it out. Sure enough, I get a call from Geico, as with a lot of our big clients, said, we really need help with mobile application development. And we've since made about 10 apps for Geico. I really get excited when somebody's trying to get into a new industry or trying to do something that's not a 10% pivot, but something that's somewhat radical. So Artichoke, Justin owned a couple gyms, and he saw a big problem in the gyms in that there was no good means of managing, for trainers, managing their clients, making sure that they're paying on time, sending them reminders if they need to, pay for the next couple months and stuff. So he had an idea for Artichoke, which started with his gyms, but was much bigger than that for actually working with service providers that had, managed their own client list, needed to manage reoccurring payments, etc. So he came to us, he was a startup, at other businesses. I knew he was a savvy business owner. He came to us to help build his product, which we did. Curiosityville, another exciting startup. Curiosityville was getting in the education space using games as the educational vehicle for learning. And Susan, who was the CEO there, had a vision for using games that would stress the 4 major academic areas, so mathematics, reading, writing, and history. And the cool thing there was it was gameplay that got matrixed against Common Core curriculum that got matrixed against these learning areas. And so we did the visualization for their learning management system to show progression against these 4 predominant learning areas. And then we created the games for her to actually do the interaction for this learning. And she already had a really good team. She had funding. It was actually one of her investors that linked us up with her. And so it was just a really good fit because they were highly qualified, a really unique thing that they were doing in the marketplace, which gets me excited. And now we're working with big brands like Wendy's, doing, redoing their digital experience, their mobile applications. We build apps for Yamaha, AOL, Hopkins, University of Maryland, just big organizations around here, because we were really first and best to market in the custom mobile application development space.